Hey YouTube, Dreadjoker here, and today we're going to take a look at what is arguably one of the community's most loved and most hated kits in one area. I am here today to staunchly tell you that the community misread the manual, like almost everybody has. I see the problem though. This is the Master Grade Dual Gundam Assault Shroud, and this is by far one of the best Master Grades I have ever built in my life. It is simple, it is elegant, the armor makes it chunky, which I like. It was affordable, and it is perfect for beginners. With this kit, you will not be left wanting in terms of accessories. If anything, you'll be left wanting more of this kit. Zooming on out, you can see that this kit is pretty thick. And I love it. So, getting right into it, I'm just going to bring out the manual real quick, and I love the artwork they did for this. It looks really nice. I'm going to turn to the page where it tells you how to connect the Assault Shroud, because this area is not explained at all. So, like, it needs clarification. See, at this step right here, 15 at the bottom, it tells you to connect the armor, the front segment, into these tabs here. The problem is, these tabs here are on the front skirting armor, which is on a ball joint and a hinge. So when you connect it here and push it, this hinge moves, like twice, or it can twist. That's the problem. So there are two itty-bitty pegs on the back of this that they have to go in fully in order to get grip. A lot of people have resorted to using blue tack. I'm going to tell you, you don't need that immediately. Over time, that may heavily change. So what you need to do is, when you're building this, you need to take something and as you are assembling this, you can see the skirt armor back here. You have to take something and wedge it behind here, like an X-Acto knife or your nippers or something like that, or a quarter even. Just whatever you can squeeze behind there to sandwich them together, because it's just not getting enough friction back here. The same thing applies to the rear skirting too. So just apply all the stuff as you would, as if you were just trying to put everything together, sandwich it, then it will work for you just fine. Now, with that out of the way, let's get into this kit. So this thing, it looks beautiful. We'll get the accessories out of the way first, because he's pretty much holding everything right now, with the exception of the rail bazooka. It's half railgun, half bazooka, all Michael Bay. It's also freaking huge. So here's the bazooka from the base. This thing's huge. Like, really huge. And this ain't a small kit. This thing is about the size of the Strike Gundam. This bazooka also is exactly what you need if you picked up recently a Master Grade red frame or a turn red and you're looking to do a custom, like, hey, I want to make the gold frame, or I want to make the blue frame in his base form. Well, buy this kit. That's the only way to get this bazooka. Otherwise, you can shell out the 120 plus for the Astray gold frame, which just includes this, the beam rifle, the backpack, and the shield. Also, it's an Astray, but all of the inner frame parts have been plated. Is that worth the money? I don't know. It's up to you. That kit wasn't really designed to be plated in the first place, so it's your call. Getting this out of the way, this kit can hold it. It has issues doing so, but it can do it, because this can only work with the trigger finger hands, and those kind of stop it from leaning as far forward as it needs to get into a good position. That's the only negative for this weapon. So with the Assault Shroud on, you've got his standard beam rifle here. Really nice looking beam rifle. This is actually one of the ones that, if I'm not mistaken, the Strike Noir has two of. Then up on his shoulder, you've got this other beam cannon, which is also a secondary rifle because there is a little handle that can flip down back here. So you can either have a suit come up behind and it's like, hey, I got you, man. Ping. So use him as a turret, or he can rip the cannon off and now he has a second gun. And, you know, double the gun, double the fun. It's also up here. It can rotate full 360. So, you know, he also has rear artillery. Up on his other shoulder, you've got the missile launcher. And everything on this kit is color separated, by the way. The only thing you really got to do with this kit is line it. Line it and maybe glue 2 parts, but that's because they don't want to stay in there anyways. Personally, I think it looks good without them. And the 2 parts in question are these itty bitty smoke rack, or these grenade launchers slash smoke rack dispensers. Yeah, it's just those. Those are the only problem. It's just because they don't fully tab in, and that's it. But overall, yeah, this was a very enjoyable build. Negative. With the Assault Shroud equipped specifically on the upper body, it does lose some articulation, like a good chunk. Because, like, you can see the arms want to come forwards, so you got forward and backwards there. Upwards, you're looking at it. But the frame is capable of much more upwards just without the shroud on. You can open the cockpit all the way. So you can lower that all the way down, or you have a, I believe, secondary hatch here. Let me pull this down so I can actually take a look. No, okay, I was wrong. So that folds down, then you can open the cockpit in here. But personally, I like the look of his thick self right here. Side to side, you get the same amount, more or less. So he's got good position here. His back profile is certainly unique. Like, Seed had some of the coolest designs, if you ask me. Like, most ambitious, and in some cases, very successful. Like Zeta. You've got this moving thruster bit right here, and I love these. The legs, so the only skirting armor on this is actually on the Assault Shroud itself. The actual skirting on this is minimal, if any. To get full range out of the legs, keep the hips, because they are variable position, keep them lowered, and it will work perfectly. So there's up all the way, with the hip up because it decided to raise first. So rotate there. There's up all the way. You can see I haven't really done anything to the feet, I just lined this baby. And if you get the full knee bend, you knock the armor off. So this helps out anyways, because this will show you what the inside leg looks like, you know, very Strike Gundam-y. There's the outside. Getting the armor on, like for the arms, works out pretty well. You can see I've got the shield on here, I'm just going to pop it off. To take the armor off for the arms, I love how simple this can be. So this is what I do. Straighten out the hand, pretend you're Kamen Rider Kabuto, and come on. Don't tell me you've been on so long you're being stiff. Oh, yeah, just cast off. Shut up, I'm allowed to be an idiot. But it comes off super simply. And there you go, there's one side all done. Missile launcher. Getting this opened is somewhat easy. Come on, there we go. So it just comes off in a couple sections. I have tried this with the Strike. If you're gonna switch the armor over and make a full armor Strike Gundam, sadly you gotta take parts from this first. Because the shoulders on here, this armor section is, it doesn't look all that bad, but it is significantly different from the Strike Gundams. The worst one to get apart is this shoulder, because it clamps down way too hard. Of course, I say that on mine, and it's probably going to work out first try for me. Okay, so there's the first one off. Yeah, see, first try. And to get the leg off easier, you can just go like this. Just pull in. There you go. Comes off. Backpack. Getting the extenders off. Grab, push, and pull. And that's the bottom. And even this has movement too. Like this whole thruster assembly down here. I mean, damn. Got some acceleration potential here. The ones up here, I love how they designed this. So I know it's hard to see because my lighting rig is still down because my camera at this time is still being a jerk. You just pull it. So this gray tab right in here actually goes into these undersides of these vents right here. It exploits an already spacious cavity. I love when they do stuff like this. It makes switching between modes so easy. Gripping the butt skirt and... Alright. So you can see there's nothing on the butt skirt here. So if you haven't really glued anything to this kit, also consequently for those thinking, hey, I want to get this in the Strike Gundam and then have him launch from the base. You can't. Well, you can, but you can't. You gotta swap out his entire butt for the Strike Gundams. That's the problem. He just doesn't have the same port. He does have an action-based connector, just not that one. And the panels on this thing go really far, so I mean, you're not going to be exactly having block mobility here. But this gives me a chance to show you. So you can see there's these itty-bitty tabs here, and these notches here. What you got to do to get everything together is line it up, hold the back, push the front, and push it till it won't go any further. Now it's good. So I will just reconnect this, and it's the same thing on the front, except the front armor is individually split. So it gets out of the way nice. You can see it moves up and down because it's on ball joints and hinges in here. The torso armor is the hardest to get off. I say that and it's going to happen first try. That's how this whole review's been going so far. So take off the upper panels up here. Then these panels are not supposed to come off, but they do anyways. Reassemble everything, because that shouldn't have happened in the first place. So there are a few areas that need glue. Just like the torso armor, the front part here. And for this hand, I usually just pop it off because I don't feel like taking the beam rifle out. This whole kit uses swappable fingers. All of the modern seed kits do. And I'm not a fan of them. They're growing on me, though. I will admit, they are growing on me. But now, without all the armor on, I say all the armor, I'm leaving the skirting on because it affects nothing. So with the legs down, here's the full backwards. There's the full forwards. These skirts get in the way, but with the hips down, more or less full splits is possible. Perfect knee bend. Great ankle. Excellent foot. Double 90 elbow. Full 360 bicep. Now that's an improvement. Head. Super premium giggity. Also, for a weird reason, these bits on the shoulder can go down, but not up. I don't know why that's a thing, but I believe it was at one point, because that goes up, to facilitate a gimmick possibly on par with that of the Strike Gundam, even though in canon, this one came first, and the Strike Gundam and every one of the other X-frames was based off of this. So as you can see, the front skirting armor decided to fall off on me, so that's fine. And now you can see what little skirting he actually has. There is literally nothing here. So this, and then you get like the beam sabers up here on his back. These are actually substantially different beam saber designs than we're actually used to seeing. This kind of reminds me of Obi-Wan's lightsaber a little bit. But come back here, you. The backpack uses same, but or I should say a similar connection to the Strike Gundams. They are not compatible exactly. I have not tried a striker pack with this yet, but you also get these rotating things up here. Grab the base if you're going to rotate them, not the beam saber, because the peg goes into that hole and it is a nightmare to get out. Thrusters. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 individually moving thrusters. Oh, that's nice. That is a nice feeling, and everything in this is color separated too. So that orange that's there, that you don't have to paint that, that's all there. Is this kit worth about $50? Oh yeah. I believe you get enough here to justify the price tag. Like, you can certainly get this for less, and if you can get this thing for less, or 50 or less, I say pick it up. This is a very, very good kit. Anybody who likes doing customs and stuff like that, you could easily repaint this. Like, say if you want to do a custom for Kamen Rider Kabuto or something like that, you could easily repaint this with a cast-off mechanic because of the Assault Shroud. So you could just drop the armor and boom, there's the rider form. I kind of wish they did something like gave it, like what the Alex 2.0 has. They gave it like a little mask that would make it cool, then it would actually have a masked form, but you know, that's just me. But thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them down in the comments section below. I enjoy reading them. I'll get back to you when I can. If you want to join our Discord group, there will be a link to it in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. Peace.